Right? 20 years of studying to put up with this nonsense.
I know. You can sit down.
I can also stand. Please do not give me commands. Thank you, madam. It's a shame what you guys have become. That's right.
So the DMV has nothing to do with why we take driver's license. That's worse.
Okay, well, that's what they were wondering, if you took it for bail or bond purposes. Did you guys take it for bail or bond purposes? Because they looked on the ticket and they didn't see that it was specified. I don't know, honestly. My son is 17 years old, he's a minor, and he was left to his own accord, or I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so that's
Right, he got 4 tickets, and they took the driver's license, and we just went to. Okay, I'll show you what I got. Is this it? Okay, the only stuff, and then, this is Officer, Commander Steve gave me this. And then I got expunging, and then I got this about to expunge. That's it, that's all I got for you guys. I got another, is this, and then this is the impounding. I paid it.
So it's gone at the same time as you got those, the more report.
All we got were the 2 sworn and the 4 tickets.
So these, for example, the type of offense that he was charged with, we wouldn't post bond would be on these cases. Be a bond.
I don't have it. They handed me a manila. Me? They handed me a manila folder with his jewelry and his phone and all these papers. Do you think it makes a difference because they were city ordinance tickets?
No.
Okay.
I'm assuming what they did is they seized it for.
All right, Patrick,
Nice to see you, sir.
come on up.
Can I go inside the investigation room?
No.
Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. I am recording, just so you're aware.
All right, so what do we got?
Okay, so since I started calling in from Canada, I haven't seen a single detective. I've seen patrol officers who started off. I'm a medical student finishing.
Okay.
3.9 GPA.
Cool.
Reputable school?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Take your word for it.
No. Is Chicago considered a good school?
I don't know.
It's one of the best.
Okay.
But your deputy chief libeled me back in the day. Because apparently a person like me isn't supposed to be a professional, right? But it doesn't matter. Let that go.
Why are you here today?
Why am I here today? Since 2019, I have been reporting to this department. The FBI, with the recording, which I have here, you can listen to it, as well as the Canadian Police, an international fraud attempt that took place by Elm Creek LLC Incorporation.
Is there anything besides the Elm
Yes.
that you're reporting today?
Yes, there is. So, I decided, since I had no support, even with teamwork, I believe between us is what's necessary to save lives and to help people.
Okay.
My fiance is disabled. We have her documentation since she was in school. Okay. A little tiny one. And yet, Commander Rifkin, who originally took my intake, as I was crying and telling him to send someone to help her, decided to tell me that everyone was too busy, no one went to help her, and it put me in a state of panic.
Where is she?
She lives in Des Plaines with her mom, who's her caregiver, was lured to that building and incriminated by the management. And then they went silent because I thought I could trust in the officers here. I tried calling repeatedly. Since that, with the evidence that no detective has taken in, I have taken in what the detectives are asking of me, and I've been getting supplementary evidence to provide. For one, McCollum was the gentleman, when I let him hear the audio recording, and the only reason, nothing's public. I'm keeping it for you guys to get the evidence because there's a lot of it. I had let Mr. McCollum listen to the audio recording sent to by corporation here, asking a man in Canada to falsify government documents to attest they reside in your city so they could take government state benefits, misappropriation, fraud, government money to the corporation. McCollum said, okay, that's a crime, but how do we know that the corporation are the one who was on the call? Fair question. I'm very fair. So what did I do? Mind you, I cataloged. This is a settlement from the corporation trying to ask me to remove all evidence and not provide any more stuff to the authorities. Okay, which is an obstruction of justice, another crime. Because for me as a professional not to give law enforcement information pertaining to abuse of elders, abuse of disabled, and international fraud, I would be doing a disservice to my own oath. So I'm supposed to work as a team with your law enforcement agency. So they asked me to get rid of all information and evidence from being submitted to the authorities. This is the same Jessica McCormick who misled Deputy Chief Kalzarowski, saying, oh, yes, he's been a disorderly criminal tenant. I didn't live in the country. How can I be a disorderly criminal tenant when they have no lease? Which they also acknowledge in this contract, the first sentence. We know that he has no lease because it expired in 2009, August 20. I haven't lived in the country since 2019. Yet this manager and the corporation used my identity, set up intercoms, service requests, paper trails and phishing all the way to Canada, saying, dear resident, omitted notice of cease and desist. My guarantor mom has had a heart attack because we gave her the information saying he doesn't live in your country, desist. They lied to your chief. Here's more. I'll give it to you here because you said more supplementary evidence, which I have. This is the lady who works with Jessica McCormick, who I've never seen or met, sending me messages via Canada saying, oh, something happened to your apartment, please send someone. He gave my fiance the code to enter the building to try to incriminate her for premeditated damages. After they failed to trick me and deceive me to falsify government documents, wishing I didn't know what the word I attest meant. I've never been in court in my life. They wanted me to attest to residing in their building to take your state funds, which is fraud. So they could steal government benefit money that's not owed to them to pretend I am a resident. When they failed to do so, Rich brought my fiance over, where it was discovered that this property man, this is who I've been taking care of in Canada, my sister who's dying, just so you guys are aware. This is the first lawyer who said this is a criminal code matter. How can I help you with a criminal code matter when I'm not law enforcement? I can only sue civilly. Charles Drennan spoke to Deputy Chief Kalzarowski saying, this is a criminal code matter. You don't even reside in the state or the country during the commission of this crime. This is my church because I'm a volunteer. This is me helping my older sister again. This is the man Rich with the phone number that you guys could do a reverse lookup on and figure out when it is with the date and timestamp. All the while, government document, FTC, which I'm reporting to from Canada. My identity is being used in a state I don't reside in. I don't even reside in the country and the border is closed between Canada and the United States. How can I come report this to your local authorities? Well, report it to your local ones in Toronto, which I did. York Region. Corporation. Sending me messages telling me to lure my fiance, saying, well, why don't you guys send her over? She can rent another apartment or something, which they videotaped her and said she was there the whole time instead. Notice, guarantor to Jessica McCormick. My son left over 1.5 years ago. Desist, no more emails, please. This is a government document signed by Detroit from your officers, like yourself, at the agency, at the Border Patrol, saying, Mr. Zachary, they fined me because I had not been in the country since 2019 until the date stamped here, which was 2022, 13/5/2022. How can, if I'm not God, which I'm not, how can I possibly be being a criminal disorderly tenant being evicted from York City when I lived in Canada? Then this was provided to ARDC, who told me, once again, come to the police. This is my fiance who's disabled, my dad. This is Bethany McCausland, Air Communities worker, who's aware that I don't live in the country or in the state, saying, oh, we're looking into state benefits we can apply for to take money under my name. Steal funds, identity theft, stealing government funds to their name. This is the Attorney General of Illinois teaching me how to set up for identity theft. This is how I serve as a public servant. McCausland had asked, how do we know that the corporation was the one that was on the phone and doing all that? So what did I do? I published to the Better Business Bureau the incident. Okay. True enough, the corporation responded back claiming that I was a tenant leaving. This is the corporation. So now you can make the connection that the corporation was the one behind all this. This is who they tried to take. A resident involved in illegal or disruptive activities, even though I don't live in the country. This is their lawyer who committed fraud, who is actually not even by me, third party even also admitted to it, stated this lawyer was forging the circuit court judge's signature and seal to give fake orders to tenants. Forgery and fraud. He's writing to me, and I just showed you, the date on this is May 28th. He's pretending that I'm a resident living on his premises in his building. I just showed you the government building, your government border agency showing I haven't been in the building since 2022. So if 2022 was the day I crossed back into the United States, how exactly is it that this lawyer is pretending I'm still present May 28th of 2021? Okay, so the lawyer, after lying to the judge, is sending email paper trails, cybercrime, to Canada. His paper trail is pretending that I am a resident living on his premises, on his client's premises, stating, we will not, dear resident.
Can I see this?
Absolutely, sir. You're welcome to take it. There's a whole bunch more, but because I get so frustrated, because I shouldn't be treated this way when I'm part of you guys. Like I'm worked my life to become a first responder, and I'm being treated with contempt by this by this police department. There's more to it. That's only the first half of it.
I was gonna say, it looks like there's a lot more to it.
There is 100%.
That you're a resident.
There is. So he'll have it later on. Let me get it. I have it here for you, sir. It's all there. I just have to get it for you. So he's telling me, he's making, this is my work. He's saying in this document that they will only send people to do work. This is my attorneys. I'm like, no, don't sue the city because they don't know, right? It's these criminals who did this. Here. Illinois City. There's the first half of it. There he is. He's saying there, pretending that I'm present still and that I should be, and with the exception of services and stuff, we will not be disturbing you. He's pretending I'm living on your premises. The officers in Canada who
this actually is referring to a past balance.
He's saying
of, May 2020, so
I
nothing
didn't,
recent.
No, this was recent. So check it out. So the office will only respond to your email communications, blah, 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 blah. Any matter raised of your outside, slap suit, threat. Should you attempt to harass, disparage, or take actions, we'll sue you. Well, I did take actions. Now he's trying to settle out of court because he's scared. Okay. Our client reserves all right. Okay. So he basically is pretending I'm still in his building, which I'm not.
That was not pretending that
It's
at all.
right here. Please be advised, blah, 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 blah. With respect to above referenced lease and premises, in the recent voice message to our client, you indicated that you have blah, blah. With the exception of emergency maintenance requests, which shall hereunder be made directly to Elm Creek, please direct all communications of your tenancy. So the word my tenancy. Okay. I don't have a tenancy. How do you know that? And I tried to show this to your detective who Leppy never looked at the folder. It was after a long weekend. He never looked at it. Because if they did, sir, and they're all saying that they definitely thoroughly looked through it, right? And saying, oh, and then I believe your chief even mentioned